What's up everyone, welcome back to the Neon Arcade for a brand new Cyberpunk 2077 video. Now today we're going to be talking about the net, which is essentially the internet with a cyberpunk spin to it, as well as some net running. We'll be talking more specifically about data fortresses, icons, programs such as the Bloodhound and Wizard's Book, and regions in the net. The net is a vast telecommunications network in the cyberpunk world. It includes anything that can relay information from one computer to the other and is made up of hard lines, radio links, cell networks, and transmitters. As talked about before, accessing the net requires a cybermodem, which is a piece of cyberware we learned about in my All Cyberware Explained video, so I'll link that up in the top right for those who haven't seen it. A cybermodem displays the net in 3 dimensions as opposed to the way we experience the internet via a 2D screen. This allows netrunners who use the modem to experience the full capabilities of the net at top speeds. Interface plugs are routed from the modem to the user, and this ensures that a direct connection to your brain is present for netrunners who rely on split-second reaction times originating in the brain to traverse the net. Next we have icons. Icons are essentially an avatar within the net that you can control and can interact with other things such as other avatars, programs, and more. Your icon can be a flat 2D shape or take a fully photorealistic human form, and everything within the net, including programs, data fortresses, and other avatars, are represented with icons. The net using a cybermodem is again in 3 dimensions, and the digital world of the net looks very similar to Tron. A cybermodem with more memory or RAM can render a more photorealistic world, similar to the world outside the net, but those depend on bandwidth and memory, so most stick to a Tron-like aesthetic. Your personal icon is fully customizable, as is your character outside the net, so it'll be interesting to see if your icon can be customized in a much different way to your actual real-world character. Programs within the net also have icons, and things like data worms can show anything from a 2D worm icon to a fully fledged digital worm wriggling through a firewall in hopes of extracting data. The IG transformation algorithm allows the net to be rendered very similar to the real world. Real-world distances between cybermodems and computers roughly translates to the same distance in the web. In this sense, the web can merely be seen as a reskinned and VR real-world experience, but with the ability to do so much more. Server instability or poor communication will not translate to a laggy experience in the web, but will transform the net landscape to mountains or hills, making it harder to traverse the net. Just like in the real world, the net extends to wherever there are computers connected to it. Next, we have data fortresses. Data fortresses are 3D representations of a computer within the net. You can make your fortress look like a castle, cruise ship, prison or jail, and more. The system operator of the fortress determines what it looks like, and its look is only limited by that fortress's own resources. Inside the fortress, areas of the computer again take on more human forms, like the memory of the system being a filing cabinet, with each file holding specific information of the fortress's memory. Data fortresses have a variety of strengths. The walls determine how strong of anti-hack measures they have, and all data fortresses have code gates, rendered as real gates on the icon. The doors are a normal way of getting inside, whilst walls and other inconspicuous places are ways malicious programs get in. Next up, we have programs. All programs are represented by icons, just like people, and span everything from common utilities and upgrades to sentient AI assassins. Some examples of programs are code crackers, which open gates of data forts, wizard books, which comb through billions of possible combinations to break a digital lock, watchdogs, which are defense programs for data forts and take the form of a Rottweiler with a spiked collar, the Bloodhound, which tracks down the location of an intruder, a Pitbull, who does everything the watchdog and Bloodhound do, but also cut the connection of an intruder, viruses and crash systems that force cybermodems offline, and poison flatlines, which destroy a cybermodem altogether. AIs also exist in the cyberpunk world and reside mostly in the net. They range from performing basic functions to analysis to human consciousness AIs to AIs who transcend sentience and create themselves to accidental AIs created by megacorporations. There are also specific regions in the net. These are large ambiguous sections of the net that also have shifting boundaries due to how much control governments and influential groups have on them. Again, the net is like the real world, so if you're net running in Pacific Island, for example, you will see things through the Pacifica region in virtual space. Now, Pacifica in 2077 is a real location, so Pacific Island and Pacifica might be flipped in the actual game, but that's to be determined. Atlantis is the first region and is popular for black market trade as well as robotic looking icons. The governments and corps who control this region are poorly coordinated, which is why black market trade runs this area. Pacifica covers all of the Pacific Ocean pole to pole and is probably one of the coolest regions on the net. It's a virtual and stylized version of a real ocean with dolphin programs to patrol it and an illuminated sky with 2 moons. Olympia is a region themed on modern skyscrapers with a heavy corporate feel to it. They have no foundations and are floating with mere skyscrapers beneath them. Movement between the top and the bottom are rendered as catwalks and become fractured and broken when connection issues hit. The region of Tokyo has such high density that the view distance is usually cut in half. This virtual is full of stylized bamboo, which casts shadows that actually shine brightly and glow. This is somewhat of a netrunner quarreling ground due to it being a region sought out by many. After all, cyberpunks love anything Japanese. The Euro Theater encompasses all of Europe and has a theme of nobility and European ancestry. There are lots of expensive art pieces, Roman columns, and globes in this region. Data fortresses usually look like pieces of art, and the infrastructure is so that low bandwidth almost never occurs. The last region is Sovspace and encompasses all of the Soviet Union. It feels very cramped and claustrophobic here, and the virtual is very old-fashioned, with cobblestone streets, gas lamps, carriages, and a lot of old-timey cottages. Defenses here are sparse but lethal to many netrunners who get in over their head. Remember, each space is analogous to the real world, but are virtually reskinned to fit a certain aesthetic of the region. Each region also has one super AI that is native to that region. That's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think. If you like the idea of the net, and for everything and anything cyberpunk, subscribe to the Neon Arcade.